Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of DIY Dad. So today I've got a project that involves my cat. So whenever we go away on vacation, we have an outdoor cat that we have to keep fed while we're gone. So one way that I had figured out how to do this is by installing an automatic cat feeder. So what I've got here is my contraption to feed my cat while I'm away. So up here you've got the feeder, and the food goes in this container here, and it flows down through here, then down through the tube, and it went into a bowl down here at the bottom. And it's all plugged in here with electricity, and that's kind of how it's powered. Now, I set this up to kind of test it the last few days. And what happened was the raccoons got in here, and somehow they climbed up to the very top and knocked this off, which I can't figure out how they got up there because I put this here to prevent the raccoons from being able to climb, but somehow they were still able to get up there. So I'm not sure how they did that. But anyway, so we need to come up with 2.0. So the idea is I need to keep the raccoons out of the garage and away from the food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this tube with a 2-inch tube. Okay? And I've got this here, which I'm going to put on the top. Now this is all just PVC that you can get at Lowe's. That's where I got it today. And this here, the food will drop into this funnel, if you will. It'll come down this tube, and then at the bottom, you notice I have a 45. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle it 45 degrees, and then I'm going to take it out the side of the garage. Okay, so I'm going to exit the garage. Then on the other side, when it comes out of the garage, I've got this bowl that I got at Walmart. It's actually rubber, which works out really well. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive these stakes, which once again I got these at Walmart. These are 99 cents a piece. I'm going to drive these stakes down through the bowl, and that'll keep the bowl stable from moving. My tube will come out and drop food into the bowl.
Plop.
So we'll see how this comes together as I begin putting this together. I'll take a little more video. Thanks. All right, so I'm kind of bringing you back in. I've done a little more work to the automatic cat feeder setup. I lowered it down to about right here, so this is a nice level. I can fill it up. I haven't quite attached this real secure yet. So here's the funnel that I use. Once again, I got this at Lowe's. This is really a reducer. This takes, I believe, a 4-inch PVC pipe down to a 2-inch, so I just use it as a funnel. And then what I've got here, this is just a 2-inch PVC pipe, and I got a piece. I started off with a piece about this size, and I've been cutting it up and kind of working my way down. So what I did is I've got a couple 2x4s just to serve as a backing, and then I've got these clamps. These are about 5-inch clamps, so I run it behind the 2x4 around, and then here I run it between that middle 2x4 right out and around this funnel to secure. So this is really secure. So then I drop down here, then I have a 90, or this is actually a 45 degree angle, and then I run it straight out. Now this down here was a bit of a trick, figuring out where I was actually going to hit. But what I did is I just kind of set it up beside here and kind of went around and figured out where the edges were going to be. Then I just cut the hole. Then I slid the pipe through, and on the other side, you see where it comes out here. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and secure this. So this serves two purposes. Number one, this is a rubber bowl, which is kind of nice. So you can just kind of poke. These are just tent stakes. So this will secure the bowl down.
But so the raccoons won't kick it away.
Yes, the raccoons won't kick it away. And also, it will help this thing to drain in case that water gets in. Now, if I have time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lean-to over this to keep the water out. That's ideally
a good idea.
What I should do. So I'm just poking these through here, and there you go. So that bowl's not going anywhere.
Should we test it out?
And so what I plan to do is feed the cat around at 12 o'clock every day. And that way, raccoons typically aren't out around 12 o'clock. You could probably do it around 5 in the afternoon, or maybe like 10 in the morning. You want to avoid putting food out here later on past dark. So I'll feed once it's still light out, and I'll just have enough in here where the cat can eat it and then be done with it. So next thing I'll do is I'll demonstrate how it works. Oh, the other thing too, I forgot to mention. So I'll put this on here, so really this will be nice. The food will come down and it'll drop straight down and land right in here. All right, I don't think I mentioned this in my earlier in the video, but I hate raccoons. I hate them. I think they're terrible nuisances, and so I'm all about getting this food set up to where the raccoons cannot get to it at all. All right, so that's what we're doing. So as I mentioned a little bit ago, I really need something to cover this up because I don't want water getting in my bowl. All right, but the cats don't like soupy cat food, right? So anyway, I had an old piece of metal here that was out in the woods, kind of dirty, but I think it'll serve the purpose well. So I cut off a piece, right? And what I did is I took these two screws out of my pole barn siding, and I put them into here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I've not actually done a trial run, so I'm going to go ahead and try to install this and see if this will actually keep the food bowl dry. And depending on how this goes, I might speed it up and come back once I've actually got it done, so you don't have to watch me screw this whole thing in. Okay, we're going to give it a go now. So I'm just going to trigger this manually. I've got it on a timer, but just so I can demonstrate, I'm going to trigger it manually.
Here he comes.
Looks like a success. All right, well, thank you for watching this. So hopefully you guys can repeat this on your own. By the way, in case you're wanting to know where I got this feeder, this is actually from a company called Super Feeder. So if you zoom in right here, and it's actually made for feeding fish automatically in a pond, but it also works well for cat food as well. Now this thing here I forgot to mention, this is just a piece of a gutter. It just helps to kind of make sure the food goes. I may not actually need it, I might take it out, but I just have it there to make sure that I don't have any food when it comes out of the spout that's spilling over the sides. So we'll see how this goes. Thanks a lot for watching.